the consistency, the discipline of believing something that might gonna happen. But because I believe so much, it actually happened. Only thing you need to do is to keep walking. You need to be moving. Workout is just a supplement. When you keep moving, you keep moving, you keep moving, your body starts asking for more because we finally strong enough and say, we're not being challenged anymore. But a strong muscle is a dense muscle, not a big one. You can be big, doesn't mean you're strong. It's just not random. It enters your body, it's processed, and knows the next meal is coming, boom, 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 and it helps drastically.
My guest today is a big boy with an even bigger heart. He's an ex-professional footballer who's played all over the world for various clubs. He's also played as a forward for Hong Kong First Division club, Kowloon City. He is now an internationally certified personal fitness coach, renowned for his passion for helping people achieve their fitness goals. This big boy is also a brand ambassador for some of the finest brands in town, including FluidX, 3F Activewear, Eve Bliss, and H. Biltong. Particularly, I love the H. Biltong, which happens to be one of my favorite snacks. So, without any further ado, Walter Vaz, aka Personal Trainer Hong Kong. Welcome to Zuperhuman Podcast. How are you doing today, Walter?
Thanks.
Ça va?
Ça va bien, merci.
Brilliant. I have no idea what you said. We'll figure that out later.
That was a great intro, man.
No. I think you deserve every bit of it. And you're one of those people who has inspired me also, because not just your passion in fitness, but also your passion to impart that knowledge that you carry now as an ex-professional football player and also now as a certified coach to help people and the community in Asia and especially in Hong Kong to change lives for the better.
Well, I'm glad you hear this, man. That was always the goal, to be able to reach people, even if they're outside let's say my circle. I think people need help, to be honest. And there are those who admit they need help and those who just don't know they need help. Right. And I love to focus on those, right? It's always a good challenge for me to get somebody outside their comfort zone and bring them to a new, different world and say, I think you need this. I have the knowledge for this. Right. And as you can say, I do enjoy learning new stuff. And in terms of fitness, the same. I'm always constantly learning about.
Right.
The more I know, the more there is to know. And knowledge is something you need to share. You can't just keep it.
Absolutely.
And so I really want to do that. It's almost like, it's not even a job to me, like I say. It's a calling, almost like it must be done.
I think, like people who are watching this podcast live are recorded.
Yeah.
It's on your face, mate. It's something that cannot be hidden.
Yeah.
To be honest, the passion that actually flows from your socials are actually setting a benchmark in this industry. Needless to say, as a viewer, I would say that passion that you carry is not fake. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's one of the things you can fake passion, but it's there or it's not, And like in me, I have it. I don't know how it looks like because I can't see myself.
Right.
But what I know is I do enjoy this part of my life.
A big kudos to that, man, because there's a lot of people out there, who could just learn from the passion that you carry.
Yeah.
And being out there and expressing it out and living life and, being happy.
Well, thanks for that. I hope so.
Now, I'm sure this passion stems from a very powerful story. And one of my favorite questions on this podcast, what is the Walter Vaz story?
Yeah, it's a good question, actually. So everybody have his own story, right? I have mine. And I think for a long time, it kind of it was hard to accept. But it turned me into what I am today.
Wow. Let us know. What is it?
So, I grew up in France. My mom and dad emigrated from West Africa.
Right.
And gave me this opportunity, right, to be in the Western world and have school, have clothes, all of these things, right? So lucky me, I went through education in France, grew up. My mom took us to the States when we lived 5 years in Miami.
Right.
And very rough time. We get to a place where, the States, it's a tough place to live in. So grew up pretty fast, went from a teenager to a man there. Wow. Because we moved in without my dad and we were staying illegally for 5 years. So when you live in a place where every day could be the last, and not only that, you're also a black kid. So it's almost like you always have this light on you, right? You can't stand down. You always stand out. Right, for who you are and stuff. So at that point, I needed to find something to escape, right? Football was always a dream of mine. I mean, from the moment I touched the ball as a kid, I was like, I don't even know. I remember playing a game, actually, when I was young with the big boys. And I'm pretty sure I was terrible at that game. Terrible. I mean, it was so bad.
Reflecting back now.
Exactly. But when I got out, I told myself, like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I need to do this. Like, this is what I want this, the adrenaline, the goals, the team environment and stuff. So I pursued that. I pursued that hard, very hard, and everything was against me, But I always knew it was a great battle to win. But I'm a true believer that when the odds is against you, the reward is just bigger.
Right.
So, and we have a saying in football that big games make big players. So for me, it was a game of my life.
Right. Wow.
So struggled through my years in Miami. No professional team back then, so I needed to make a name out of myself. So I used to play in every single league. Right. Little I knew back then, I didn't know that was actually what, built me into what I am today. The consistency, the discipline of believing something that might gonna happen. But because I believe so much, it actually happened. Somebody came and got me from there and took me to the professional world. I just need to sign a contract and push the door, and I was in.
Wow.
Right. And it came late. 23 years old. Most of the kids go professional at 16. And so it was a lot of talk about just give up. It's too late. It's too late.
Was that your self-talk, or was that talk from
everybody? People around me. Yeah, even my dad. My dad was telling me that maybe you need another dream, right? Maybe you need another dream. But, I always tell him that I dream big. And people don't understand. There's no such thing in dreaming too big. You're just telling it to the wrong person. So I told my dad, well, it's okay if you don't believe in that. I'm still going for this, right? Because I'm disciplined. It's, I need to do this. I can feel it coming. I can't explain it. I can feel it coming.
Right.
So I left, started my football career in Uruguay. Spent 2 years and a half. And then I came to my first jump in Hong Kong, 2016. Great, a completely different world, completely. But I just love this place.
Right.
I just find it so vibrant. I was like,
was it the food or the lifestyle or the party style?
It's a bit, the party style. You live in Miami, it's enough of party.
That's true. Yeah, I agree.
Because there's always somebody doing something in their backyard.
Right.
So, I didn't, the efficiency of the city was great. Everything is close by. And the quality of people you meet here is just insane. It feels like with the local and expat, we have like a strong quality of expat and local. Everybody's such a big name and do such big things. So it's motivating, right?
Right.
It's almost surrounding yourself with people with goals and ambition, right? So I really appreciate that. Left, football took me to many countries. Went to Greece, Sweden, Egypt, Cyprus.
Was that part of playing for Hong Kong?
Yeah, I was actually professional, but I was traveling. How football work. You get a contract there,
right.
And then another team call you, you go somewhere else, and so on. But then, to be honest, I found myself back here. Through COVID, when Europe, because I was in Greece actually, and Europe took a huge hit in terms of COVID, so everything kind of shut down. But the only place that was actually active was Hong Kong, in this bubble.
Wow.
Now the question is, how do you get into that bubble? Right? That was So anyway, I managed to get in. Good, crazy story. I mean, I don't think we have enough time in this podcast for me to explain what happened to me.
Okay.
But basically, I came in. They sent me back. I came all the way to Hong Kong. They sent me back after I applied for a visa. I came back and do the 3 weeks quarantine, and then I was in.
Right.
And by then I lost so much money, so much weight and energy. I was like, this time I'm not going anywhere anymore.
Right.
To be honest, I didn't have much more energy left. So I ended up staying. And that's how I transitioned to fitness there.
Wow. So you were this kid with a massive dream.
Yeah.
That you dared to dream in the most challenging environment against all odds. And from what I summarized from there is like you had two qualities that you kind of built in to yourself in order to realize this mammoth dream against all your odds, which was kind of consistency and discipline.
Yeah.
And I think you were always very big on that.
Oh, yes.
So we'll talk about that consistency and discipline in a bit, but I'm going to jump into an area of expertise in which you're kind of known for, which is as a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Now, starting off, everybody has a different definition of fitness.
Yeah.
And also sometimes nowadays becoming very controversial, a topic to discuss. But what is your definition? You've been through professional sports. You've seen life, right? You've been in those tight corners. Combining all that experience and also this knowledge with respect to the certifications that you hold in the space of personal training, how would you define fitness in today's world?
Fitness today, to me, I think it's a lifestyle.
Okay.
I think it's something you need to incorporate into your life. It's necessary almost. To me, fitness, for what I do, I'm a personal trainer, so I personalize, and what I do is, it's just a small part of it, right? I see fitness as an ecosystem, right?
Wow.
I'm part of this ecosystem, right? So I know for a fact that it will take more than me to get you where you want to go.
Right.
But I'm also a stone you cannot avoid.
Right.
Right. This is what I see it. So for me, fitness is a physio, is an osteopath, is a chiropractor, is a wellness coach, is a life coach.
Right.
To me, all of this is the industry.
Right.
That ecosystem that we need. And to have like the perfect lifestyle, you need to touch a little bit of all of these.
Right.
Not all at the same time, but there is certain time in your life where you need to take certain turns.
Right.
Right. I remind my client all the time that I'm your personal trainer. We're not going to be here for life. Right.
Right.
And especially for women who experience cycle changes, through their life, puberty, pregnancy, menopause, and all this stuff. We have different jobs. So I will come in your life for 2 years, and then you might need somebody else. My job is done. Right. You might need maybe 1 or 2 other coaches that specialize in different things. Right. So that's what it is for me. I think fitness for me is an ecosystem.
Well, I love the way you put it, and there's place for everybody.
Exactly.
One of the pillars that you really stand for is the exercise and movement element of things.
Yeah.
And just out of personal curiosity, I mean, you've been training people through later parts of COVID and also this recent time.
Yeah.
What are some of the concerns that, especially in the Asian market or in Hong Kong especially, that people are coming to you for?
So they always complain about 2 things: time and stress level.
Okay. Those are the problems, or the roadblocks.
There's like the roadblocks, I think. Time is something that everybody fight against. But I think you have 24 hours. It should be enough to get things done. And it's just about how you need to prioritize this. Where fitness is a thing where our body, it's something that if I get cut today, I see blood right now, so I fix it.
Right.
Right. Working out is different. You don't see result now. So therefore, for people, it's not a state of emergency. Right. I could drink alcohol now. It's fine.
And you can see the effects of alcohol immediately.
Right.
You start to feel easy,
Exactly.
relaxed, and you keep going.
By the other end, if you eat sugar and you keep eating sugar, it's fine. It's just not a piece of cake.
Right.
And this and that, until you sit in front of a doctor 20 years from now telling you have diabetes and you look shocked. You cannot be shocked at that point, right? It was coming. You just didn't prioritize this. Right. The result, I wasn't there back then. Yeah. So, and the stress, because people are so active in this country, it's just, how Hong Kong is, right?
It can be tiring.
It is. So stress is something that people fight against, right?
So you see, there are people, some of the challenges that you mentioned is like time and stress. And I think with age, people make this more an excuse than ever before. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Because I did.
So it is fascinating. So obviously when you're young, you have a young body, right?
Right.
When you get old, people, it's completely in reverse for me, actually.
Right.
They will say something like, now that I'm old, and I wake up in the morning, I got back pain, right? So therefore I cannot move anymore. What they don't understand is that it's because of not moving that you have the back pain. And the only way to fix it is actually through moving.
Right.
It's not resting.
Yeah.
So the more you sleep, It's just, that's what it is. You can't have energy when you have energy. That's something that you create.
Right.
Right. So, no. Getting old cannot be an excuse.
Absolutely, it shouldn't, because actually the Book of Science of Modern Medicine, or what I call functional medicine, actually states exercise and movement as one of the fundamental pillars on which you can even reverse genetic predispositions. And as we get older, we have this tendency to fall back onto our genetic predispositions because of our lifestyle habits. Mm-hmm. And one of the ways you, as you beautifully said, is you have to respect aging. It's going to happen. But one of the beautiful ways you can slow this down and grow younger, that's a mindset that I always tell people, you don't grow old. You can choose to grow old, or you can choose to grow younger. But if you choose to grow younger, there are some 5 fundamental pillars that I always preach about. But today we're talking about the exercise and movement, and you're an expert on that. And as you rightly said, you exercise that pillar, you would grow, and you're going to grow younger.
Absolutely, because you aging, right? There's nothing you can do about this, right? It's almost a losing battle.
Yeah.
Now, I don't care how many burpees you do today, you're not going to make it 120 years old. You can't, right?
Absolutely.
And but what we can do is slow it down. So sarcopenia is happening, which is aging, to normal, losing muscle to aging that Absolutely. We all know. But we have to slow it down. We must slow it down. One of the certification I hold is a senior fitness specialist. So I study the world of elderly people, 60 and plus, right? And I realized that one of the two person that falls plus 60 is at risk of dying, which is because they don't have the muscle to catch themselves when they fall, and they never put their body into enough stress, enough recovery process, enough bruises, enough all of these things to actually recover from that. So this is the actual fall where you get injured, and then the recovery system. This is where actually people will pass away through recovery because the body just, you know what, I give up. I can't recover.
Yeah.
If you have trained your body before that in your young age, prepare your body for this, have enough muscle, have joint mobility, or anything that fitness brings into your physical shape, right? You'll definitely recover.
I think it's beautiful the way you put it, because a lot of people on this podcast have also mentioned this simple word, as you rightly said too. Fitness is an investment. Exercise movement is an investment. You have to look at how you want to feel, how you want to be, and how strong you want to live life when you're in your 60s. And your 70s. Dream longer, right? 100, but quality of life. One of the ways you can engineer that sitting right now when you're young, like, hey, when you're young, live life. Okay, go on. But especially once you've crossed the 35 threshold, is you start making investment, just as you make investment in real estate. Fitness is a protocol, magic protocol out there where you start time and re-engineer. Maybe, as you said, we'll talk about that. What's the ideal time of workout or exercise and movement much later. But it is an investment that you must do so that, you can be out there 30 years down the road, chasing dreams and being much safer. And this is not something that, as experts, we say, because what I did was, as a part of the preparation for the podcast, I just printed out a document from CDC. That's the Center of Disease Prevention in the States. You could be aware of that. And it is one that bases its results or its output on basis of real life human studies, not on the basis of rats. Okay, there's a lot of data, there's a lot of funds that go into actually generating real life human data. And this is the benefits of exercise and movement for adults classified as 35 and above. And this is the beauty of it, right? Some of the problems, the highlight problems that, Hong Kong is faced with right now. So the immediate benefits, sleep. How many of us in Hong Kong are struggling with sleep?
Oh, man.
Which again reflects back to, your thing about learning or helping your body to recover.
Yeah.
You don't put in that, you don't learn the art of sleeping when you're young, you will struggle as an adult, period.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a muscle. I always look at anything that helps you grow, basically your muscles or your mindset, which helps you grow. It's a tool that helps you grow. You have to invest and stress that part of it and re-engineer that element. So in order to grow. So sleep, anxiety, it lessens anxiety and it betters blood pressure. Wow. Long-term effects, brain health, heart health, cancer prevention, healthy weight, bone strength, as you mentioned, and also balance and coordination in order to prevent that slip, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So this is not just two random people talking about on the basis of the qualifications or experience or, the pints that we have pumped in our life or the football we play. This is real science, right? We age, the more it becomes our essential, a daily essential to go out there and exercise and to move.
Oh yeah, it's a real thing. Sleep, it's a big problem here. It is true. I forgot to mention that people just don't realize how much it is important to sleep, right? So through the workout, you break down your muscle, right?
Right.
They must recover.
Right.
It is a must. I'm very extreme. I love working out. If it was up to me, actually, I would do 3 sessions every day.
Yeah, sounds like me too.
But, I force myself into it. It's like forced recovery. It's a must. Right, I'm all grumpy watching Netflix, talking about oh my God, I feel like I could go again, but it's my body's tricking me. Like I always say to people, you have the notion of time. Today's Tuesday and next week is gonna be, I don't know, Wednesday. The body doesn't know this. The muscle have no clock, right? Yeah. He just do what he does.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take the time he needs to recover, and there's nothing you can do about it. You feel like working out, but the truth is, can you work out?
Right.
So it is very important that you kind of sync with your body. You need to learn what it can do, what it can produce, how long it needs to recover.
Right.
And once you start doing that, you're actually in sync with who you are,
right.
For mentally and physically.
Right.
Then you see result.
Yeah. I think it's beautiful you say that, because for me as a having done the things that I've done in my life, including professional bodybuilding, and also looking at somebody who wants to look good, feel good, I always prioritize an exercise and a workout. And let's be honest about it, as you rightly said, it gets addictive.
Oh yeah.
And I had to actually learn the art of doing nothing and term that as recovery. Because before that, for me, recovery was, hey, let me go and do some yoga. That's recovery.
Right.
No, that's not recovery, right? And as somebody who grounds himself in science and always keen to learn, I know that is not recovery. But, hey, I'm feeling good about today. And different people recover differently.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, there are ways you can improve your recovery, but the art of doing nothing, as I say, recovery, has to be practiced in order to grow, realize all the short-term and the long-term benefits.
Yeah.
Period. Since we're on recovery, we talked about sleep.
Yeah.
What are some of the ways that you recommend your clients to recover better?
I always tell them to get the average, 8 hours of sleep. But we both know, here, it's nearly impossible.
It's not impossible. Yeah.
It's very tough. Right. I told him, you need to find a certain type of peace in your brain. You have to be able to log out from whatever daily activities you went through. It's a must, right? Because remember that your body is a tool, right? The brain is in command. If you're telling your body, we are okay, we need peace, we need to relax, your body will shut down.
Right.
And therefore, you relaxing.
Right.
So it's just little things that can make a huge difference, right?
Wow.
Because you can go to sleep and not really be asleep, right? Your brain is still working, you're at work, or you're still thinking about work, and all these things, right? You need to be able to tell yourself, okay, I'm out this time, I'm really out. So let's focus on just, relax, and it's okay to just have a drink in front of Netflix, right?
Right.
By saying that to yourself, it helps recovery system. And then obviously go through the night. Sleep, just prioritize sleep.
Yeah, I like how you putting emphasis on sleep. For me, it's a miracle drug. It's a game changer. You want to do it for I wouldn't say 8 hours. I wouldn't even quantify it by hours, because these days I focus on quality more than quantity, especially living in Hong Kong. Let's be honest about it. As you said, it is tough, but there are so many modalities out there that help you to maybe sleep better. As you rightly said, just stating it out, right? Okay, I need to unplug, and I need to be at peace. Some people can do a little bit of a meditative practice.
That's true.
Breathing is great. I think, basic, and that's exactly what it is, right? When you're shifting your nervous system to basically go into a rest or digest mode.
Yeah.
And bring about, as you beautifully said, it's about saying things that instructs your brain to instruct the body.
Exactly.
Because you cannot instruct the body before you conquer the mind.
Exactly. Oh, it's pointless.
Right.
It wouldn't work.
Is there any other hacks that you personally use to recover? Because you are on this every day, and we can learn so much from some of the things that you do daily to recover.
Well, I'm extreme, Nobin, to be honest, but I use every tool that I can, and invest in this. So a great bed. I believe I have the best bed in the business.
Okay.
I mean, it don't cost me my leg, to be honest, but it's great.
Right.
I sleep harder, a great pillows, I eat good, right? So 2 hours before I go to bed, I make sure my tank is full. For me, it's almost going to sleep is this is where my body works, right? I let him work. I just let go.
Okay.
And he does what he does. So let him do that, So, and then when it comes to recovery, a lot of ice, stretching, calm myself down.
Right.
Everybody have his own meditation technique, when it comes to that. Me is just basically, I think, the dark room, the silence,
Right. Try to do a little bit of stretching?
Oh, yeah, I need to.
Okay.
I'm a big fella, so I need to be stretching my long muscles and stuff. But it helps, just little things, really.
Yeah. And that's cool. I mean, in Hong Kong, I don't think that if we use big biohacks, is something that everybody can adopt.
Right.
Simple things like you mentioned, love the bed. I'll talk to you about the brand of the bed much later, because we're not sponsored today by that bed manufacturer. So unless they sponsor the podcast, we don't talk about it. Sorry, but I'm kidding. But making these small things your priority and investing in them, because you anyway do. Mm-hmm. You just got to make the right choices. And food is something you talked about, and I have is as a whole section that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
These are all simple, and these are all things that doesn't even challenge me right now. Because I can, I know around the corner, I might have to invest in a bed. I don't have to do it right now.
Right.
I know somewhere down the road. When I do, I can make a smarter choice.
Mm-hmm.
Stretching. I'm not a big stretching person, but these days, because I know I have to recover, to go out there and again, take on the world, do a great workout, and to grow basically.
Right.
Because why am I going and working out? Of course, for me, for everybody, it's different. Some people want to back on those lean muscles. Some people want to do it for brain health. Some people want to do it for definition.
Yeah.
For me, it's more mental health. Also, it helps me to sleep much better at night, as advertised, no doubt. And of course, the definition or the physique is a byproduct, I always believe. It used to be the prime reason why I used to, when I was young and early, when I was forgiving, but no more. I've shifted my focus. So we talked about exercise. We talked about the importance of it for adults, and we talked about a little bit on the recovery side. But I want to like rewind a bit, or, like just keep it going. Now we're in a season where, people could be, like making challenges and resolutions with summer around the corner, or, in the beginning of the year, depending on when this podcast comes out. But there are always times in life where we decide, okay, you know what? It's time I'm inspired by Walter, this podcast. I need to bring about a change.
Yeah.
Change is something that we fear. And you seem to, as a personal instructor, do it with ease to clients. What are your protocols? I mean, for me, of course, there is, when you have to change things around, there is fear. And I believe that it has to be engineered in. Change is not giving up. That's such a wrong word to say, like, hey, I got to change things. And the first thing that comes to somebody's mind is no, it's giving up. For me, over the times, I've kind of like, made it more fun by saying the word re-engineer. So I'm going to ask you the same question. How do you help your clients re-engineer their lives to ease out the fear when it comes to change?
Actually, bring me to a good quote that, somebody told me once, a long time ago, actually.
Right.
And he told me, like, it's going to take more than you know. And the more I keep saying that to myself, and I say, it's actually right. It's going to take more than I know. Because if I knew, I wouldn't be here. I would be the person I need to be. What I told my client is to ease them into a new phase of their life. Obviously, they're stepping into the unknown, right?
Right.
So I use this Dora the Explorer story, right? My little sister used to watch it when she was young, and she loved it. And every time I walked through the living room, she's there watching it again and again and again. And it came back to my mind when I actually started the fitness thing. And I said, well, Dora used to show a lot of courage, right? There go this kid, I don't know, 7, 8 years old with a monkey in a backpack, going for the unknown. So taking risk and doing stuff outside of a comfort zone and always succeeding. Through doing that, of course, a couple of speed bumps and stuff like this, but she always make it. So if she can do that, you also have to do it too, right? So the only thing she has is a map. That's why I tell people. So you have a map, and Dora, what she sees is the goal. I need to get to the pyramid. Now, there's 3 routes. Which one I'm taking? She's taking a direction. So I tell my client, you need to make a decision. Where are you going? Be specific.
Right.
Choose a route.
Right.
When Dora opened that map and she say, I'm going to the pyramid with route number 1.
Right.
It's a decision.
Yeah.
It's a contract.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
It's not negotiable. I'm going through this no matter what.
Yeah.
He never turns back.
Right.
Because the episode's about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
She must get there, and she's going to get there. And I tell people that how long does it take? It's none of your business. How you going to do it? It's none of your business, because that's why I'm here. The only thing you need to do is to keep walking. That's it. You come to session, you execute, and we do this for you. And also I tell them that it's going to take more than you know. You're going to be outside your comfort zone. Of course, you've never done this before, but it's okay.
Right.
I did this before. It should be fine. Right. So we're going to get you this. That's how I tell them. And it seems to be working for most of them. Some of them not too afraid of the unknown. Right. The comfort zone. It's an evil place. I always say that.
And the comfort zone can manifest in Hong Kong or in Asia as like, what are the friends going to say maybe? Or I might not be able to socialize.
Exactly. It's just ridiculous. Because we both know that success attracts, a nice body attracts. You don't need to socialize if you look good and you feel good. It's actually even better.
It comes to you.
Right? It's just automatic.
Right.
You cannot be just seeking stuff like this. Fitness has this beauty of bringing out a different aura about you. And,
right.
When you feel good, people around you would feel good. It's just, right? It's an energy thing, right? So, nice guys attract nice guy. Rich people attract rich people.
Right.
Broke people attract broke people. This is why we have circles and so on. You kind of look like your friend because somehow there is something about them, that attract you into. So it's just like this, right? The more you become, you're going to start actually attracting people that just more of them.
Right.
Right. So, and that's how it goes, right?
If I could just say this, you just got to have a goal.
You have to have a goal.
And there is no magic route. You walk a road and know the fact that, maybe, and I always believe this is also, you can choose a good personal trainer.
Yeah.
Who is going to be your ally or your buddy when you feel, and there's moments on that road, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Somebody who you could talk to. And that's where a good personal trainer such as yourself, with that kind of passion and commitment comes so handy. And many times I always advise people also, like, it is a road that do not fear to ask for help.
Yeah.
Professional quality help is out there, but make sure that you really do your work on signing a good person who you're going to entrust this journey with, because it is not a cheap journey, but the rewards at the end are multiple, to which you cannot even put a value. And I think it sets you on a different tone, as you said. Like, you start attracting different things, the good things in life. You start attracting the good people in life, and some of the things that you want comes to you much more easier. Yeah, and I think fitness is a great way. And putting a client in that, maybe that kind of change, or re-engineering the kind of a change with helping them to overcome this element of fear by showing them and making them feel just comfortable. And it's a great tool, I think, you use in your way of doing things. Okay, now, so I'm going to go back to one of the words that you use, and I know you're very big on it, and I think there is a huge hack in there for a lot of us to use to optimize our exercise and performance mindset, or an approach towards making a change, which was the consistent mindset. Now, I call it a mindset because I think it's a mindset. It is not something that just happens. It is something that has to be ingrained into those neurons. Many times people say, I lack time in my busy schedules. What do you think are some of the ways that we can actually create that consistent mindset?
Well, like I said, it's a decision, right? So priorities, right? There is a lot of pocket of free time we have through the day, and consistency is born through habit. Through, let's say, you don't need to start with 1 hour workout. I'll take 1 minute. 1 minute, 5 repetitions of squats every day, right? Let's say. So you do that today, tomorrow, and you keep doing 2 weeks.
Yeah.
By the time you realize that it's actually in your routine, right? You know at a certain time, you must get up and do those 5 squats, right? You must do them. It's almost automatic. Now, you don't even...
key to consistency is maybe start small.
Exactly. So
show up.
But it show up, exactly. So small step, right? We get that a lot in January, which is the busiest month in
I know,
the
right?
fitness industry. It's just, I receive 20 calls within a month. I need to start doing something. I need 3 times a week. I need 5 times a week. And I always come back to, but when did you build that consistency? How disciplined are you exactly to do certain things? So there's so much element that just go wrong in that. And I always tell them that it's not going to be like that. It's going to take more than you know, apparently. We need to build consistency first, right? And this is why in my service offers, I go to my client, no cancellation.
Right.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
So I don't care what you feel today. I'm engaged. Now I need you to be engaged. And something that I love is that I make sure they know that I'm so engaged in themselves, so passionate about it that, it's almost touching into your heart and say, this guy is like, I must attend. I can't disappoint this guy because he's coming.
You use it as a tool.
Exactly. He's coming. I'm a good person, because everybody believes they're good. So let's find out how good you are. Will you make somebody drive from their house to your house at 7 a.m. and not show up? You do that maybe once. And then the rest of the month, you feel guilty. So you show up.
Right.
And my mission is done. Once you're there standing in front of me, we make you move. And even if you give me just 30% of your capacity, you're still running laps against people that are just sitting in their couch. You are active. And that's the key to it. And at a certain time, at a certain point in time, when you keep moving, your body starts asking for more. Because we finally strong enough and say, we're not being a challenge anymore. The body needs a challenge, right? It's just...
And the beauty about it is when you're showing up and you're doing, and this is why I call this a mindset, is you're actually giving your brain some chemicals to actually drive you to do even better, as you beautifully said.
Right.
Every time you're working out against the odds, you're actually releasing this beautiful neurotransmitter, which is known as dopamine.
Oh man.
It's a drive.
Happy hormone.
Yeah, you can say it's a happy hormone. But for me, yes, happy hormone. The drive or the motivation to go out there and take on the world. It is something that's for everybody to be felt, but showing up and doing it and knowing that 5 minutes back, you didn't even want to do it. But now here you are doing it. And that is rewiring your neurons way beyond the workout.
Oh, yes.
You're laying strong fundamentals for life. And there is science that proves it. And I love the way you said it. You show up. Now it's about them showing up. And consistency just can be about smaller steps towards. You don't have to be. Consistency, a lot of people think about consistency is about showing up 100%.
Yes.
Which is kind of wrong, isn't it?
Ridiculous.
Yeah, you can't show up 100%.
No athlete will tell you that this is what we do.
Yeah, but maybe as you beautifully said, it's about getting that shoes on, getting onto the field and giving it your best.
Right.
Because there are some proven benefits to it.
Yeah.
Or maybe because a big guy showed up with a great heart saying, hey, let's go, let's do this. I'm with you.
Yeah.
You can do it, right?
It's small steps. I always say I'm not going to train you 100% every day.
Right.
We're just going to do 75% because I'm playing the long run. The key is to get you a workout that is challenging, but you can dominate, right? If you're proud of yourself, you're going to come back.
Right.
If I exhaust you today, so you use 100% of your capacity, it will take another 5 days to recover.
Right.
5 days of pain, 5 days of just, oh my God, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Right. I want to work out that you dominate it. You say, I saw muscle, but you're proud, Every time you get up and say, wow. I feel good. I can do this again.
Yeah.
So you keep showing up.
And that's one of the reasons why, like if you just put things into perspective, people just burn themselves out in their first month of the year.
Oh, God.
And as a result of which, half the people who were so keen are no more keen because they didn't have, number one, a plan in place. Number two, understand or work with the right people. And number three, didn't think about it as an investment for a long-term game that they're going to play and have fun with. And engage with. And it's going to be shitty days in a game. You don't have the best of days. You lose games. Right?
Oh, yeah.
As a footballer, you lose games. But that doesn't mean you don't show up.
Yeah.
You go back, take a break, recover, aka, and then show up better or to do better the next day. But showing up, period, is the definition of consistency.
Yes.
You don't have to be 100%.
No. It brings me back to something people say, there's no pain, no gain.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't believe in this.
That's
thing.
bullshit.
Absolutely not.
Sorry.
And there's also something very famous they use is that is because they're sweating, they think they're actually working.
Wow.
And I always say that sweat has nothing to do with calorie burn or progress. It has nothing to do with that. You're just sweating because your body regulating temperature. That's it. So you don't overeat or you will die. That's it. There's certain workouts you don't need to sweat, right? It has nothing to do with muscle growth. It's a different system in the body, right? So those are just pure myth. You can do a soft workout, get the best out of it if you follow nice recovery after without even sweating.
This brings me to an interesting topic, and this is your expertise, like strength training. What are your thoughts about it? And this is a topic where, a lot of people shy from because, as you rightly said, when you train for strength, you might not sweat as much. And as a result, people don't think they're working out.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the importance of strength training and what are the benefits of this?
Great. I thought you never asked. I'm putting the mic closest up. People can hear me when I say this. Strength training is probably the most important thing somebody can do. It is also, especially for people on the weight loss journey, because I really want to stress those people because they always believe that the only thing they need to do is to run, to burn calories. The most natural way you can lose weight is muscle eating calories. This is how you lose weight.
Nice. I like the way you put it. Say that again.
So muscle eating calories.
And that is a better way to lose weight.
The best. The only way the body knows how to lose weight, let's say take away fat, is by recruiting calories that you put on in your system. Right? This is how you lose, not through sweating, not through running. I have a weight loss client right now and she want to lose weight. So the first thing I said that we need to build muscle. And she said, why? I thought I needed to run. And this is where the difference is. You need to increase your ratio of muscle mass because the more muscle you have, the higher you work. Like the rate, your performance is higher. So therefore, you go and recruit more calories, right? The more calories you recruit, you're building muscle because the muscle taking calories to put in himself to make you move. And you're losing fat, right? But if you don't have enough muscle in your body, therefore, you're working so the muscles need to recruit as much as calories as it needs to.
Right.
Because you're weak. So I said the more muscle you have, the more calories you're going to burn, right? This is why strength training is very important. And when you're on a weight loss journey, of course, you need to eat good, but we talk about nutrition later on. But when it comes to the physical part of it, you need to build muscle. If I get you to, 48% of your body is muscle, or 50%, let's say, like the top athlete. Right. Let's say Cristiano Ronaldo is like running at 52, for example. Then you don't have to worry. You do 10 burpees, he do 1, and he burn as much calories as you because he's so strong. The muscle, one movement is just massive recruitment of calories to make him move because he's stronger. And that gets me to another point that women are very, very afraid because most of my clients are women is that, so coach, does that mean like if I get more muscle, I'm going to be bigger? Right. I say, no. We're not working on volume. We're working on density. Right. The muscle weight more. Yes. But a strong muscle is a dense muscle. Right. Not a big one. You can be big. Right. Doesn't mean you're strong. Right. Understand me? So I tell you we're going to work on density. That's what weight training is. It's not bodybuilding, which is a different type
it's so
of training.
Well misunderstood. Or
they're always
wrongly misunderstood.
Oh, yes. Girls think like, especially women, I have nothing against women, I love women. Yeah. Right? But they will say that if I carry, coach, if I do like 8 kilos shoulder presses, I take pretty fast. I can't do this. Right. I've been doing this for 20 years. You just see me, I lift weight every day. Look at me. Yeah. What does it mean? I mean, you take fast, I don't. You need to give me the secret then. What do you have that I don't? Right. If you can even perform 10 push-ups, you don't have to worry about bodybuilding. Right. You're not going to get any bigger. Right. We're only working on muscle and density, and it's necessary. I can't stress this enough. Muscle mass is just so important in the body. It's the key to everything.
Even in the book of Modern Medicine today, which is Functional Medicine, also looked at functional medicine today, it rightly says that your muscles is a longevity organ. The more lean muscle mass you pack when you're younger, you age younger when you are actually even growing older. Because as you rightly said, these are all energy centers. Two ways to look at it. As we all get older, we lack energy. Number two is another biggest worry of people as they get old is that they tend to pack on or accumulate fat around their visceral area and also around organs, which has, its own Pandora's box of, AKA disease states that people open themselves into. So I always tell them, you are laying a strong foundation towards a healthier life of looking younger from within by actually packing on lean muscle mass when you can do it. One of the reasons, because more muscles, more cells, more energy production centers, more ATP, you will function faster, much better. And I think that's one of the key essentials of, feeling young, even when you're old, is energy and vitality, which is AKA your amount of energy that your body can produce.
Yeah, the fuel.
Yeah, exactly. Fuel. Second thing is if you want a lifestyle later on in life where you want to get away by eating a donut or maybe even two, start your muscles right now because sugars, instead of getting stored or converted as fat and getting stored around your organs and around your visceral areas, can get beautifully stored in your muscles as glycogen and provide you energy to move when you're older, to go out there and exercise, to run with your grandkids when you're older. You got to envision that. And for that, you got to pack on lean muscle mass when you can. And it's never too late for it. It's never too late when you're out working with the right person. Yeah. And also for women, an area where I normally stray away from, but since we talked about this, we'll talk about it because especially during that phase of menopause, there is a lot of muscle wastage that happens. And women can do much better during that transition phase by having lean muscle mass. We had an amazing coach, functional medicine expert, here by the name Beth.
Oh my God. Huge in the industry.
She's huge in the industry. She especially works with women around that period of time. And you should watch that podcast. That is a gem of a blast, especially if you're a woman and, being scared of packing on muscles. Yeah. That is a must watch because, you can, of course, argue what would two guys know? And very rightly so. And that's one of the reasons why I stay away from that topic, because there are some great people out there advocating it. And based on not rat research, based on actually human data to show that packing on lean muscle mass for women is a game changer around that phase and also thereafter.
Menopause, which is a thing that hits women pretty hard. There's a lot of changes happen to their body and muscle, like loss of muscle is one of those, right? It's insane. I think it's about, the numbers are correct, I think it's about 30% or something like this. And in that moment, we need to slow down that process. We need to build muscle if it's not too late. For those who never actually, been into a weight room, we need to actually act on it right now. It doesn't go away. It's only getting worse from that point. Yeah. But we can slow it down, like you say, and tell your body that we're still strong when we go against that, And the best way out, the natural way to do so is to work out.
Absolutely. And I say, is the cheapest anti-aging investment that you can make is to move. Also move. We'll talk about that. And also exercise.
Yeah.
And it's just maybe an hour or less than an hour in a day, or build up to it, but be consistent about it because it's a long-term game that you're playing, right? Now, we talked about strength training and hammered through the benefits. Cardiovascular training.
HIIT workout.
HIIT workout.
That's what comes to mind, to my brain.
Let's talk about the HIIT workout. What is your perspective on HIIT? High intensity interval training for people?
To me, it's the best form of cardiovascular, training for me. Because you have the stationary bike, you have stationary machine that obviously will make you sweat and pump your heart and stuff, but the benefits are different. HIIT workout is time efficient. First thing first. That's what I love about this thing.
Right.
And the domain you put on your body, it's unique. It's very unique, right? It's body weight exercise. Mostly it's body weight exercise. Jumping jacks, a jumping rope, skiers, and all these things, right? So obviously you work on your pumping your heart, you reach this VO2 max thing, right?
Love it.
VO2 max, I think, is something I discovered a long time ago. It's fantastic. And basically, HIIT workout is the best way because you burn calories, first thing first. Let's say muscle eat calories, I must say. What I love the most about that, what happened after the HIIT session, right? Like I said earlier, you don't gain muscle through the workout. It's what happened after that.
Right.
Right. And it comes to HIIT workout because we reach a certain level of VO2 max,
Right.
VO2 max, for those who don't know, VO2 max is how well your body consumes oxygen. The longer you stay in that zone, the better you're in shape. So let's say if your max heart rate, the beat per minute will be 185.
Right.
The VO2 max will be, we need to get you in that zone between 185
Right.
and 175. So in that, how long can you stay
Right.
in that zone while you're working out? Like how long can you maintain? Is it 20 seconds?
Right.
30 seconds? The longer you stay in that thing, the better your body consumes oxygen, obviously,
Right.
because you're able to sustain this thing. That's what HIIT workout is. I'm trying to get my client to that area, right? So they can actually really feel the pump and how they recruit and use oxygen the right way and stuff. When the session is over, we have something called EPOC, right? Which is the excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, right? So it means that the energy level, the oxygen that your body needs to recover, and that takes calories.
Right.
Because recovery takes energy. It's very tough for the body to, and because you went so high, so obviously it will take longer to recover. But through that period of time of coming down to get you back to a RMR, which is your resting metabolic rate, right?
Right.
To get down to that zone, it takes time.
Right.
And you can lose over, I think the numbers, if I'm not mistaken, 200 calories, and it could take up to 14 hours. So just by doing anything, by not doing anything,
And nothing, yeah.
you're burning calories.
So you're actually making your body a metabolic generator.
Absolutely. So you're just sitting down at home recovering. And this is the beauty of HIIT workout, is that you didn't get so hard. You get to the point where, whoa, you just sit down, you're still burning.
Right.
And 200 calories per session. Think about it. If you do this in your 30 days and you put on 8 sessions, you almost burn a kilo by doing nothing.
Right.
Right? It's insane. More than a kilo by doing nothing.
Absolutely. And there's also emerging science. As I was preparing for this, bumped into that again. Was again, my whole themes to do with longevity and also anti-aging. That's an area where I really show a lot of passion into. But for me, anti-aging is more like, having more energy and also like, being able to go and chase dreams as you age. Just to clarify, it's not about just looking young. Okay. So VO2 max, what I bumped into was like different age categories have different VO2 maxes that they can target. By able to stay in those high or your age-related VO2 max for that periods of time. For viewers, go and find this data out, because if you're looking at living an optimized life for a long period of time, you want to be targeting VO2 maxes based on your age, and there are just columns to follow. If you're 25 to 30, your VO2 max that you should be targeting is for this period of time,
right?
This X units, and it's as simple as that. And I think today there are so many, basically any cardio machine that you use in the gym, if that's the way you want to target it. But I believe that, being out there and doing those burpees and jumping jacks is the best way to go further or have an attitude towards HIIT protocol. Your watch, any smart watch today measures roughly your VO2 max, and that's a great starting point.
Yeah. I think, I'm not saying that, to be clear, and I love what you say about the range and the age difference. Of course, people should definitely look into that because it's very important. We don't have the same VO2 max.
Absolutely. And sometimes the older people can wrongly target a VO2 max. It's unrealistic.
That's unrealistic, right? So the watch will not tell you. You must look it up.
Absolutely. Start from empowering yourself with, for my age, what's the VO2 unit that I must be hitting, and what are the best ways to do it?
Yeah.
Have fun with it. I mean, it's so engaging rather than sit on a bike and try to
Exactly.
What am I doing here? I don't know. What am I doing this for? I'm not too sure. Is it really, am I putting my time to good use with a very clear objective? Although I'm walking on a path where, hey, I'm not sure. But
no, exactly.
Proven science, and there is data that shows that, I would get there.
Yeah, what I was about to say is that I'm not saying that the treadmill or the stationary bike are not great tools. They're fantastic tools, right?
But on a bad weather day, hey.
Exactly. So I use it myself. Yeah. But what I say is that there's much more to gain if you outside or on the mat, let's say doing a HIIT workout, because you're doing plyometrics, or the jumping jack, the jumping squat, or plyometric exercise. Therefore, you're working not only on your cardiovascular, but in your bone density, right? But not only that, you're squatting up and down. So therefore, you're working on your flexibility, right? You're doing single leg stuff. So you're working on your balance training. Right. So a HIIT workout kind of it's almost like a compound kind of system where you can just work just more than one thing. You can just activate muscle. There's muscle growth. There's all this benefit, right?
And in a short period of time.
In a short period of time.
Amazing. Oh,
this is my favorite approach when it comes to fitness.
I love it. And you think, what would you advocate? Like, there is no right formula to it, but what is your preference? I mean, like, do you mix and match HIIT training and training?
Oh, yeah, yes. I mix match because there's no one better than the other. I think we need both, to be honest. And the older we get, the more we need it. So I always say, obviously, somebody at 60 years old won't be able to do jumping jacks and stuff like this, right? Unfortunately. So HIIT workout will be something we just kind of like, okay, I'm going to prioritize weight training. But if you're in your mid-40s, and like you say, you need to build it while you're young. Right? So if you're 35 years old, I mean, you should be doing both.
Okay.
Should be doing a lot of it.
Anyways, it's always okay to start when you're older too, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's no age. For fitness, there's no age. There is no training just for young people, If anything, elderly folks actually need this more than anybody else, right?
Right.
So I don't care if you're 96 or 3 years old. The body, it's something, it needs to be emotion, right? It will always move until you die. Because even when you sleep, you move.
Right.
So you have to move.
And talking about movement, and this is an area which is very separate in the book of science that, from the sphere of functional medicine. We talk about exercise and movement as two different things because it rightfully is so. And I think there's good textbooks now coming out which actually talks about exercises, but which starts with movement.
Yeah.
And often people can think by going to the gym and exercising for 1 hour or doing that HIIT workout for 20 minutes, you've achieved it all.
Yeah.
But I think, again, backed on data, backed on the reading, and backed on some really cool podcasts also from some really cool people out there in the industry, there's a lot of emphasis on movement because we're kind of living our lives now where, forget the workout, that's 1 hour in like 24 hours, right? But for the remaining 12 hours of the day, all 13, you're just sitting down and there is no movement. And people are starting to lose, once you're not moving, there's no blood flow. Your nutrients are not being transported. It's affecting recovery. And people are falling into a pitfall where they feel like working out is everything or doing that HIIT is everything, and not focusing on movement.
Yeah.
What is your thought on this? And what's the advice that you would love to give people?
Yeah. So what I would say about this is that the workout session itself, right? I think we all heard that it's just an hour a day, just represent 5% of your day. I think that's what the studies say. But it is true. People get stuck into that idea of, well, if I go to the gym 1 hour, I can just sit all day and relax because I already worked out. But that's not true, right? You need to be moving. So the workout is just a supplement to your daily activity life, right? So you need to have an pretty active life, 10,000 steps, walking, going up and down the stairs, so on and so on. And on top of that, you put on the workout.
Right.
Right. So the main focus is you need to focus on how active are you in the day.
Right.
That's where everything is. You need to be active and then add on the workout.
Right.
Right.
Wow. I like the whole perspective on that because, I never bothered about this part of science ever as much as I do now because I really sit down for a long period of time during whatever phases, is it from a creative perspective or from engagements or with meetings. There's a lot of sedentary life. And I always thought hey, 1 hour in the book's done. Now, knowing the benefits of movement and also experiencing and implementing it and staying consistent with it.
Yeah.
And seeing the benefits of it, I think it's a game changer. And I'm starting to have fun with it because now it's no more something I have to do. Shit, I'm not doing it. It's no.
Yeah.
The way shit. Okay, I'm sitting down now. How can I find a way to move? So it could be I'm in a meeting, but I start stretch. And I tell the person I'm just trying to get some movement in and being honest about it. And sometimes it's funny in Hong Kong, you just want to go to the first floor and people are waiting for the lift. I'm like, I used to be one of them. So, hey, so having fun, a fun mindset towards movement is great. For example, I don't even think in today's world, why are people ordering food takeaway? I think it can be ordered because you have lack of time. But that for me is a great excuse to
They're killing us.
Walk up to that store and just pick it up. I don't have time, but I need to get this in because I've been sitting. And one of the reasons why I've been sitting and ordering a takeaway is because I've not moved from that chair and I can't move because I'm really busy. But prioritizing that movement and say, okay, I don't have time, but I need to move.
Yeah.
Because it has XYZ benefits. I can actually order food maybe from the store and
go get
pick it up. Yeah.
I know they're killing us. They are killing us. And in Hong Kong here, it's just, wow. because
mind you, on a bad day, on a rough day when it's a storm, it helps.
I mean, yeah, I do it sometimes too. But to be honest, me personally, I feel completely guilty. I was like, oh my God, like I should have walked if I knew better.
Okay. Now, another thing, we talked about exercise and movement. What's the importance of stretching in this whole realm of exercise and movement, or in the fitness protocol?
So stretching is, well, it's very simple.
Okay.
If you want to get the best of your workout,
Right.
then you need to prepare your muscle.
Right.
Right. Stretching, prepare your muscle for that. Right. So it will relax your muscle, get it to, because don't forget that when you're going to work out, it's going to be doing movement, hard movement.
Yeah.
So a lot of hyperextension, stuff like this, right?
Yeah. And you need blood.
Exactly. So you need to prepare your body for it.
Right.
Almost a warning and say, all right, this is it. We're about to work out now. So mentally and physically, you're preparing yourself, telling that, okay, we're going to do this.
Right.
No hold back. Right. That's what stretching is for me. You need to prepare it, introduce him into it, and then so on. Increase your performance because you perform better because your muscles are loose.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, what about after a workout? Do you advocate stretching?
Yes, I do. I always do a bit of stretching after the workout. The body's cooling down. We cannot just stop it like this. My only machine you can stop like this is a machine.
Right.
But a living thing, you cannot stop it that way. You don't expect anything. No. Yeah. You need to cool it off, right? I think, and then it helps for blood circulation. The recovery starts with the stretching you got right after the workout, right? You need to stretch your body, and it helps. The muscle is more relaxed, blood travel faster. I mean, there's so much benefit out of this. You cannot just walk out of the gym.
And you're actually recovering. You're starting a recovery process there itself,
right there.
Because you're just loosening things up. You're bringing in more oxygen, more nutrients.
Yes.
You've toned the muscle, as you beautifully said, and now you're actually giving it fuel and nourishment to plan and set a stage for recovery, right?
Recovery, yeah. Now stretching is yes.
What does diet and supplementation look in the life of Walter Vaz?
So,
controversial, but let's talk about it in a very small
way.
Yeah.
Not to touch the nutrition too much because I'm not a nutritionist.
Okay.
So I got to respect people who do that for a living. But obviously, as a trainer, I know the basic. I know, and as an
let's talk about what do you do? I mean,
as an athlete,
you're in good shape, 365 days. Or 366 days a year.
A year.
So you must be doing something correct. How can we learn from what you do?
So what I do is, when it comes to nutrition, obviously, the quality of food is very important, right? So I'm talking, when I say quality food, I mean like trying to avoid processed food. I'm not saying don't eat your carbs and stuff. I think the body needs carbs, especially for us athletes and people that work out. You must eat a certain amount of meat and protein and stuff. Yeah. But what I do, I prioritize protein, and it's something I also do, and I found that out through my years of football, is that the timing when you eat, right? So breakfast at a certain hour, lunch at a certain hour, the snack, dinner, and so on. You repeat and repeat, right? You have this calendar where you just don't eat at any time of the day.
Right.
You're more efficient if you have a plan to when you eat. So 8 a.m., 12:30, 4 p.m., 8:30. And you keep doing that. So your body, after a while, understand when the food comes in. The recovery system can kick in pretty at the same time every day. The digestive system can kick in at the same time every day. And so it's just not random. It enters your body, it's processed, and knows the next meal is coming. Boom, 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 and so on. And it helps drastically.
So people looking for a game-changing hack in the whole realm of without talking, in the whole realm of nutrition, without talking too much. If you're looking for an X-factor game by timing I think you're one of the first person who answered this with a different perspective, and I love it. It's an area where I struggle with, to be honest. But these days I kind of excuse myself by saying, hey, maybe I'm going through a phase of intermittent fasting, and then it's through. But I'm a culprit myself. I'm sure people in Hong Kong are, but that's the beauty of talking to somebody who's lived a life of a professional football player that has to perform at
the best
superhuman level, which we all want to. I believe everybody who has a dream today, stepping out on the street, is an athlete. Or you got to train yourself, breathe air, and learn to breathe, to be honest, and to perform like an athlete if you want to go out there and make it in the world.
Oh, yes.
And that mindset when you said, or that skill set when you said, timing your meal, I think it becomes a little bit more simple than, worrying about what. And I love what you said, from your perspective, you avoid processed food. And I think that's a game changer in itself.
Oh, yes.
What is your definition of processed food?
I mean, the classic, fast food and, the cheap stuff. Let's say, you're buying eggs, right? You're going to go for the cheapest eggs there is, but Go for free range. Go for these things, right? So, quality, they're more expensive, obviously, but when it comes to your health, seriously,
make an investment.
Make an investment.
So time it correctly. Keep it simple. Keep it real. If anything, like, for me, people say like, so what do you shop in the supermarket? I say, I just stay to the outer periphery of the supermarket because all the good stuff is there, kind of like the 3/4 of the periphery. Because the 1/4 is all the alcohol, which I'm kind of retired from now. So it used to be the whole periphery,
right?
With only the outer, not the inner lanes, but the outer shells. But these days the 1/4. But keep it simple.
Timing
is something.
Because
loved your perspective on that. And that is, that's different. And of course, not to fear carbs, which is...
No. I would say another thing is that food is energy, right? People need to have that in their brain. Food is not calories, it's energy. And like anything, you need to fuel your body. It's a must.
Yeah.
So by having time to that, let's say, even if you're working out, so you're using a lot of energy, you need to put some back. And I'm big on time because before I used to work out, I'm hungry, it's okay. But not eating and being, people going to eat only when you're starving, only when you're hungry, it's actually bad for the body.
Right.
I need to have energy stored in my body that as soon as my body needs to recover or do anything else, it's there already.
Right.
Right. I don't need to change my day. We find yourself, say, it's 2 p.m., I haven't had lunch yet. And then you push it. And then 3 p.m., you go and have lunch at 3 p.m.
Right.
You go have lunch at 3:30. So you lose efficiency in your day, right? You must stop what you do and go eat.
Okay.
Right? You could be doing something else, recovering for that matter, right? But you have to stop your day.
Planning, right?
Exactly, planning, and then so because you eat at 3, your dinner get pushed, and then you enter your bed. Because if you sleep at 10:30, then you ate at 3:30, and then by 8:30 you're not hungry. If you're at 8, at 12, you'll be hungry by 7:30, so you will eat and then enter your bed at 10:30.
Yeah.
But because you move everything, you end up going to bed with just a banana and say, I'm not hungry, it's fine.
Yeah.
When you sleep is where your body requires the most energy.
Right.
Because it's recovering, it's building your muscle.
Yeah.
And if there is nothing in that, how do you grow?
For people who don't know too, your body consumes more energy when you're sleeping.
Absolutely.
Than when you're awake.
When you're awake.
Yeah. And just cleaning up the house and regenerating and making it ready for the next day.
So food is not the enemy here.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think any nutritionist will agree with that. It's energy. You need this.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts on supplementation? Or what do you use?
So I use this, I think it's Hong Kong brand, I think. It's called Proteinlicious. It's a protein shake.
Okay.
No conservative, very natural. Love it. It seems to be working with my body.
Okay.
When it comes to that. And a couple of protein bars because I actually really prioritize protein because I'm very extreme. Like I said, I work out a lot. When it comes to supplement, I think it will be beneficial only for people who are active. I think if you're not doing anything, why would you have a protein shake for?
Right.
It doesn't make sense. So the food actually will give you the necessary amount of protein you need to your regular meat and eggs and avocados and stuff like this, right? Yeah. But if somebody like me, an athlete, or you work out 3 times a week, then yes, I will suggest you have protein shake supplement because you're imposing such a huge demand, in your body. The muscle need protein to function. So add on more. It helps.
And that's the definition of kind of a supplement, right? You're supplementing the excess need that your body needs to perform at those higher states.
Absolutely.
And you want to push for the benefits it holds.
Yes.
For me too, talking about protein shakes, I live an active lifestyle, but, it's completely gone out of the window and I try to harness it. Because as you beautifully said, you get most of the stuff in the food. That's
already. So
making the right choices, eating correctly at the right time, which I'm still working on. I'm not.
Me too.
That's an area where I do fall short. But it's a journey, and I kind of have fun with it. So
yeah.
Okay, cheat meals.
Oh yes.
What are your thoughts?
It must exist.
It must exist. I love it.
I true fan. I love the pepperoni pizza.
Okay.
I'm not going to say for more because we are sponsored with
I love this, yes.
But so it only comes when I get a win.
Okay.
Right. So it's almost like I need to win at something.
Yeah.
Right. So I like keeping goals. So I have like this thing in my phone, in my notes where I got goals set up.
Yeah. Which is your contract?
My contract.
I love it.
So I have, so for those who don't know, I do have a contract with myself.
Right.
I make a contract.
Right.
And there's one clause in this thing. Non-negotiable.
Okay.
So I don't care what whether it is outside, how I feel and stuff, it must be done. So let's say if I'm going to run every day at 3 a.m. or let's say that's what I told myself, this is the contract, then I must respect that.
Right.
Right. So I wake up in the morning, I say, well, the contract said, I must go.
Yeah.
And when I start doubting myself and say, but I should stay in bed, I remember that the clause say, non-negotiable.
Right.
So it must be done. And it's done.
And I think the high from that is second to none, even on that rainy day when you go out there. By the way, viewers, we're not advising you to run when there's a Typhoon 8 warning, but if it's mildly raining and if you think...
You must go.
You would know when it's okay and when you're actually making excuses.
You usually know.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Now...
But cheat day, sorry. Pizza. Only for when I win at something,
okay,
I get you a goal, bam.
So key to success is staying consistent and also building a disciplined mindset.
Oh, yes.
Having a contract with yourself, all right, having a non-negotiable clause, and putting a reward system in place and saying that is, I used to call this cheat meal. These days I call it you always are what you say, and you always kind of trigger your body to act in ways of what you say. So I've actually re-engineered, as you say, and I say re-engineered because I'm an engineer with one of the qualifications that I have, because I don't call it a cheat meal anymore. I call it the gratitude meal. And now from you, I can call it the success meal, right? Give it another positive twist to it, mate, where you say I've gone out there and I've done this. And now I got to treat myself to this, all right? It is not a cheat because you are not cheating anybody. You're not cheating yourself. I think by not going out there and getting the stuff done, you are maybe cheating yourself and defying or falling short of the contract that you have signed. So go out there. It's a winning meal. It's a gratitude meal.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way we're going to define it from today.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I know we briefly talked about this. Yeah. There are a lot of people out there in the Hong Kong industry who want to take up personal training as a career.
Yeah.
You have made a huge career shift, and I'm sure it was not easy. But at the same time, you embraced it so much to the fullest and found a meaning and a purpose in giving other people the ride of their life to success.
Yeah.
In fitness and wellness. What are some of the advices that you would want to give to somebody who wants to embark on a journey on being a personal trainer?
Well, I will tell them that first you need to understand what personal training is.
Okay.
Right. What I say by that is that you're about to enter people's life in a way that whether it's good or bad, you're going to impact them for life. People will remember this. People will remember experiences. And this is what you're going to give. Experience before anything else. It's you. So you have to reflect a certain way of living because they're going to look up to you.
Right.
Right. First thing first. You need to understand that. So before going out and sharing who you are and what you know, I think you should know who you are and what you know and know who you are, basically. Right. And you must be driven by passion. You must love helping people. It's, I don't know how you create that. For me, it's just naturally, I feel like it's what I should be doing. I love helping people, but your main goal is to help people. That's what you're in the business of, helping people and nothing else. What comes after, which is the money, the success, the recognition, all of these things is just, side effect of it.
Right.
But the key is to help people.
Okay.
That's what I would say to you.
So that's the kind of mindset or the heart set, I must say, they must carry in order to go and become a personal trainer. Yes. And that just helps them to learn so they can actually better people and make impact.
Yes.
Is there any particular course that you recommend?
Oh, well, the CPT, you need to start with the CPT.
Okay.
I think as an athlete, let's say, I always thought I could teach because, I coach football and stuff like this. But I went and got my certification, and there are certain things that only books can teach you, like the education of it. There is more to it than just repetition and sets, right? So it would be easy. Everybody would be a trainer. You need to get education. It's very important. You need to have, a level of education. You're about to educate people on stuff that they don't know about. And you need to make sure that the intel is right. Right? So you need to get educated. The CPT is a nice, very, very nice base to start with.
Okay, the CPT is a certified personal trainer.
Yeah, of course.
Courses by an academy or?
NASM does it.
Okay.
I think they're the best, to be honest. I got it.
Personal opinion, yeah. That's
and you go there and you just learn about this.
Right. And it's very natural for people in authoritative positions such as, I think this is a very authoritative position because people look up to you. And want to take your instructions and want to kind of, like revolve their lifestyles around it. It is kind of an authoritative position. Do you think there are some traps out there that, they should be aware of so that they can, be better personal instructors or trainers and also feel more fulfilled at the end of the day?
So
rather than with the mindset of just going and making money.
And making money, yeah. So, yes, I think this is a very good question, actually, because what you need to be a better trainer, you need to show a lot of compassion. But I think this is something, because, as a trainer, you know what you know. But it's something we don't know. It's people's life experience. And you need to be a very good listener and understand where they're from, right? It's all about it, right? You need to understand them, and it is certain problems that won't be fixed just because you have the knowledge, you have the best workout. No. You help those people because you're showing tremendous compassion, you're actually standing like who they are and where they're from. And if you get that, even if you don't have the best program and you're not the best trainer, you are the best for them because you understand them. So therefore, once you understand your client, it's just easy. You don't even need to write anything down anymore. You just exactly know what they need just by knowing them. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, is it right to say learn the art of listening?
Exactly. I think
finding out maybe what they need, the bigger purpose that they're coming to, because everybody says, I want to come and lose weight. But I think there is more depth to that.
Yes.
Instructors, don't have the time, or they don't want to make time to know. Because if there's anything that is going to move them on a challenging day, is that big purpose or meaning, the real reason why they want to lose that weight. A, it could be a medical condition. B, it could be to attract more girls.
Why not?
It could be as simple as stupid as that. Or
yes.
There and be a better person or an inspiration to their children to live their lives.
Because, like you say, the trap is it is a lot of personal trainers that do this. They go and get certified.
Right.
And they go to get another certification and another certification. In their standards, they're a great personal trainer. Right. So they say, I have the best program. I have the best drills. I'm certified. I'm 3 times certified. Why does this client is not losing weight? Why does he not do? You're asking yourself the wrong question. You just don't know who your client is yet. Right. And this is the mistake that a lot of training get through. They say, I have a program. You were able to complete it because you're out of shape, or because you're not strong enough, or because in this. No. There must be a reason. It's deeper than that. It's not about set and repetition in program. It's something else. And as professional, we need to find that, right? My first session with clients is a free trial, because I always tell them the same thing. So you get to see how I work, but that's not true. I want to see who they are and what's their goal and where they're from, Actually, the first session, the question I asked, nothing to do with fitness. I'm trying to see where are you mentally, because the program's already set up. I didn't create the jumping jack. It's already there, right? And I've been doing this for so long that writing a program now, I just sit down 15 minutes and it's done. But I'm trying to see what is going to work for you, right? Maybe we just need an hour stretching, and that could change your whole life. Or that could be the beginning of something. Like I say, I'm just going to enter your life for a period of time. I want to play my role and then leave and move on and, let you go on into something else.
Right.
On your self journey, by yourself, or finding another profession that can take you to another level.
Right. And that truly justifies your brand name that you go by, the personal trainer Hong Kong, rather than just a fitness trainer Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And that the whole script that you mentioned here shows a lot of compassion already dialed in, and something I think it just fires you up naturally. And that's something that is to be looked up to.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Now, it was a pleasure, Walter. We've all learned so much from today's podcast. And of course, we can dive into some areas more deeply, like exercise, sleep, in another session today. But today it was all about just some basic fundamentals on how people should look at fitness and how they can optimize and prioritize not just a particular modality, aka strength training, or HIIT, aka cardiovascular training.
Yeah.
Find place for both.
Yes.
And most importantly, I think, take that risk to take that baby step, just with an objective to be consistent. Don't worry about anything else.
First step.
Leave the rest to a proven system, which is like you show up 9 out of 10 times, or maybe even 10 out of 10 times, it will go.
It works.
Way. Yeah,
It works.
Thank you so much, Walter. It was a pleasure having you on board the Zuperhuman Podcast.
Thank you so much.